Hello everybody. I am doing a YouTube live. I'll just wait for some people to join in. Not fantastic tech setup at the moment because my phone is broken and I have my laptop here and it's been a long day, but we're all set up and I'll wait for some questions to come in. Hank is here, Chance is here. Hope everybody is having a wonderful Thursday afternoon. It's been a long day. There's been a lot of hot weather, and it's been a lot of dogs to look after and rescue and team stuff to do. But I'll wait for some questions. If I'm looking to the side, that's because I'm reading my laptop and I'm not very good at the tech setup. Maybe I'll move the phone a little bit. These are meant to be for members. I think I couldn't find a member option, so I might be streaming this to everybody. And if I do, I apologise. But you can join as a member now. It's a little way to support us. And we're doing all these little live streams and what else do we do? Early videos and special content, and it's really just a way to help more dogs. But I'll answer as many questions as you can. They're starting to fly in. How is Bob doing? I posted a little video of Bob today, I think on Facebook, and he's doing fantastic. What we're doing with Bob is we brought in as many other dogs as possible. He started off with Bubbles and he did well. And then now today we put big Bella in there with him. And Mr. Fluofer's back. Mr. Fluofer hates it at the land. He had an operation today and you'll see his huge operation and he's going crazy. He just hates it, hates the land, hates everything about it. He just wants to get out of there like a normal human in a hospital. So good morning from Houston. It's weird that people are in America. Are American people up already? Just maybe. That must be a very early start. How's Jamie getting on? That's a good question. Jamie lost Mick Jagger and I should say people's names. That question is from Kathy Lally. Jamie's getting on well. The only thing I will say is 100,000 people asked Jamie if he would adopt Bob, and asked me also. And I was just saying to people, give him a bit of a break. I think it hit him quite hard, losing 2 dogs in 6 weeks or something like that, 2 months. So he's going to go and travel a little bit. People who have dogs will know that they're a big responsibility, especially old sick dogs. So I think he's just going to enjoy maybe 2 or 3 months of traveling. When I last spoke to him, of not having the responsibility of looking after sick dogs. So I said that's a great idea. 8 p.m. on the east coast of the US. US is, I'm not even going to talk about politics. US is a bit mad at the moment. Everybody's waking up. That's all I can see online. There's I'm going to try and put some really positive dog content in the world today, because I just looked at the newspapers. It was wars, American politics, shootings. What else did I see? Just wars, doom and gloom. So I'm gonna blitz some happy dog content after this to cheer people up. Hi from the Philippines. Hello. Oh, Venezuela. God, people I'm really surprised where people come from. Do tell me where you're from. Rainy Ireland. That is not any surprise, Martha. It's always rainy in Ireland. How is, not always, but a lot of it, how is Earth and the team doing after Panda's departure? Send them big hugs. Yes, Earth is today. You know what? Never mind them. I was first in that office today and I was sad. I walked in and I was like, oh, he's not here. Panda's not here. Earth took it hard. Surprisingly, Chu, who's our little lovely lady who does the cleaning and dog feeding and stuff like that, it hit her hard. It always hits some, when you're saying goodbye, everybody has their own favorites, like all dogs. So she was very upset, which I didn't see coming. It's always somebody who's like, it hits more than Earth was pretending to be a tough guy, but he was very upset. Where in the USA did Bianca go? I knew there's going to be so many questions that I wouldn't exactly know the answer to. North Carolina, I'm going to say. Is it North? Yeah, I think because Shaggy... No, South Dakota? Oh my God. North Dakota, South Dakota. I think Shaggy went to North Dakota. She went to South Dakota. Could be North Carolina and South Carolina. I'll find out. She's going to a lovely woman. Bianca had a little rash on her foot, and it's spread, or it was on her cheek and then it spread to her foot, so she would have probably got stopped at the doggy immigration. So that's why she didn't go about a month ago. So the woman was, she's been so excited to see her. And but yeah, Bianca's a lovely dog. No Jada still, no. It's bloody, it really, really is so annoying. Jada's the, just for people who asked that question, Nora Law. Jada is the girl who had the lump, a big lump on her back, and we did the operation, everything recovered, very nervous, and then it's my fault. We were feeding her fried chicken, and I was just giving her the chicken, and I set the lead down for a second. She'd never shown any signs of running up, and she just turned and sprinted. And we've been looking for her for 2 weeks. People who know her from her old area came to help. We looked extensively, there's posters up, but Jada doesn't want to be found. She's, you know, most dogs will hang around and stay and come, like they'll eventually just come back. Jada's the opposite. I'm not worried though, because like, I am worried, but all her stitches are out. All her medicines were done, her antibiotic, like the wound had completely healed. And she's a dog who just doesn't want to be around humans. She'll be under a little house somewhere. She'll be coming out at night, finding her food. So I wish we hadn't lost her, but she will survive. So, you know, she's a street dog, old, who survived her whole life. So it just bugs me. It's, you know, it's a failure on my part, and don't like it. I can't sleep thinking about it sometimes, but that's what it is. Will Bob and Chance ever meet? Oh, let me get Chance actually. She won't like this, but I'm gonna get Chance. Where are you, Chance? Come on. There she is. Oh, Chancey. I just need to see if this is going to work on the camera. There she is. There's Chance. She needs a new bandana actually. Chance is doing fantastically. The reason I said she won't like it is because she has her curls up. She's got a routine. She curls up on her little couch beside Hank and lies by the door and moves back and forward in the evenings. I mean, that is a real disgrace on my behalf. A tatty bandana that hasn't been washed in about 3 days because she was off around I should have been prepared for that. I've made myself, and Chance more importantly, look bad on camera. She doesn't love live streams because she's never done any before. But Chance is doing great. I'll show you Chance's little teeth, look. It's probably something you might not have seen before. They're tiny. She doesn't have any. See that at the front? They've all been worn down. She's very, very old, is Chance. But she is so happy. She's an unbelievable girl. Just to think that she could sit here and do a live stream. She doesn't love sitting up there, so I'm going to put her back down. She's very, very happy. And she loves Hank. The views, people would have been watching the live stream being like, oh my God, I don't want to hear him talking, but Chance came in, so views will be up, likes will be up since Chance came on the scene. Yeah, her smile is a gummy smile, Sam Holland. I'm hoping that she's maybe not as old as I think, and that on the streets she had to like chew bones and stuff and that wore the teeth down, but she seems quite old. I would guess that Chance is maybe 10. Hi from Sydney. Quitting corporate. I love quitting corporate. That's what I did. Everybody quit corporate. I hope there's no bosses in here. They're just sucking the life out of you. Everybody in the corporate world, get out of it. My orders. Okay, let me take that. I need to do some proper questions here. I'll read out the names and answer the questions. If I do this, I am doing this more regularly, I will get a better setup. The one annoying thing actually is I would love to do this walking around the land, you know, with the live stream and talking to dogs, and Earth could help me and stuff, but it's pitch dark here. It's 7 o'clock, and we wanted to do it. Most of the people who follow us are from like UK, Ireland and America, so I wanted to do it at a time that was people were awake, so this is the best time. I haven't even had dinner. I've missed my dinner for this. I have to go out and get it, but I'm kind of contemplating going for the breakfast cereal for dinner, cornflakes and a chocolate bar. It's ridiculous, but you know when you're too late for dinner and you just need to eat something. Anyway, I don't think people care about what I'm going to have for dinner. Mandy, as it's her 50th anniversary of Bohemian Rhapsody this year, any chance of Freddie, Brian, Roger, and John as names for the dogs? So that is Mandy Bradshaw wants me to name some dogs after Queen. Yes, I'll do that. Freddie, Brian. I wouldn't have known Roger and John. Brian May. I wouldn't have Roger and John. Yeah. But yes, I'll name the dog Freddie Mercury. That's a great name. New dog Freddie Mercury. I usually watch your videos to start the day. It's morning here in Guyana, South America. I've been in Guyana. I haven't actually been in the country, but I've been on a boat when I used to work off the coast of Guyana, so I know where it's at. It's mad that people watch from around the world, isn't it? Did Anthony get diagnosed with dementia? He seems to be doing much better. Yeah, Anthony doesn't have dementia. Dementia. He's just grumpy, like all of us. No, he's fine. That was not correct. A lot of people suggested that might be the problem, but he doesn't have it, and he's doing great. He's got another couple of weeks on his medicines. Don't have a plan for him yet. He's very low maintenance. His skin was so bad that I want him to get back big and fluffy and just healthy, and he'll be there for another while. I don't know what to do with him yet. He's just not. It'd be he could never travel abroad in a crate and all that, and he's old, and so I have to find somewhere nice for him. Would you put Julissa S? Would you put Anthony for worldwide adoption? He went through a lot and deserves a forever home. No, for worldwide adoption. There's a lot of different factors, but to get him, we could put him into the crate. He would be fine in the crate. But Anthony's not good with new people, so if he got to Bangkok, to the people who handle him there, he'd have to get into another crate, visit the vet in Bangkok, go on an airplane, get out, meet his new owners. It wouldn't work for Anthony. It needs to be somebody who can come and meet him in person. And I'm thinking there's a few areas that I know where there's really good dog people. Like what would work for Anthony is he doesn't love other dogs. Somewhere where he could live outside, because he loved living outside at his restaurant, but somewhere that's like a farm or a rural area where he can sort of just be an outside dog. I mean, we always talk about this sort of ideal home for these dogs. That's just a place where they can be an outside dog, but also no traffic, no bad people, no, and somebody will give them food. But let's see, we'll find something good for him. I don't know what those are. Received a gift membership by quitting corporate. Can people gift memberships? Is that? I don't know. I really should be more up on this stuff, but I'm sorry. And also I should maybe be looking into the camera. I think if I was a professional streamer, I would have the camera in front of the questions, as I wouldn't be looking away, but it's just me at the end of a day's helping dogs, so I'm not good. I'll tell you what else is going on in dogs today. There's always a lot more going on than I can share. We have a dog that I shared somewhere from a distance with its eye blowing out, basically as in like I think infected eye, and the story we got was the cat scraped the eye and the eye's hanging out. I mean, it's literally, we were looking at it, it's hanging out, which was bad. So then we set it up to get the eye taken out immediately, but the blood was too bad. She's such severe anemia that she needed to be rushed in for an operation, but then the anemia was too bad, so she couldn't have the operation. So we've been sorting out today an emergency taxi to go to Soy Dog, which is another charity in Thailand, one of our partners. We do sterilising with them. We fund it, they do it, and the dog is in a taxi on the way over there because it needs really huge surgery. Like it's life or death. The dog's head is twice the size. I'll maybe put a picture on my Instagram, because the eye's covered up now, but it could die. But they have got blood transfusions, emergent, like it needs to go into the craziest operations, but just started from a dog with its eye hanging out. So I've been dealing with that today. Kaylee, I never know how to say that name. Kylie Parker. Hi Niall, thank you for the lovely updates. How are the revised plans for Tina's hospital looking? Fantastic. I'm going to write a big Substack email about this, because there's so much to explain, but I can explain it here because I have time, and I think it's like more hardcore fans who watch this and will not be bored about me talking about it, because it takes time to explain. So we have big negotiations going on with the land to just lease it and have buy clauses, just lots of clauses if things go wrong. And over 30 years we need to secure the land for a long period of time. We got the road being built down before the wet season, so that's happening next month. The biggest part is we changed the shape of the hospital, so it was huge, big, and it was coming in at about $2 million, which is not, like, we can't justify that for treating the amount of dogs on the island. There'd be plenty of dogs, but it's just too much money. We could raise it, I think, if we did, but I don't think that would be we're better off spending money on. So anyway, long story short, we've worked with the architects who are amazing in New York and Thailand to revise it down, and the revised building is just under $1 million. But I would say, I don't know enough about it, but I would have thought that's a quick process. It's not. When you it's like nearly changing the building, and we're in this stage now where they're doing like mechanical drawings and generators and airflow and gutters, and like, I'm just naming off stuff that I've been on calls for the last 3 or 4 months, and that is one more round of, I think, 1 week, 2 week of calls, and then that gets submitted for permits. This is probably boring everybody, but that gets submitted to permits to the local authorities, and then they will approve it, hopefully very quickly, and then building can start in the next, we've got this detailed plan. I think building can start in, like, I'm gonna say 6 weeks. We have to obviously get the right quotes, and there's a lot of moving parts that have to line up, and so it's going to be a substantially smaller hospital, but I think it looks and fits a lot better with where the land is. And I just ultimately thought the other one was too big and too expensive. At the end of the day, it's not my money, it's people, like, we run a charity, people donate it, so I have to be responsible. And I think having a smaller hospital and using more of the money to sterilise and educate and do other stuff was a better use of time. So it's an unbelievably long and hard and complicated process. I hope I'll try and put that all in an email. I'm behind on emails, but I really need to write that big update for people, because I'm trying to be as transparent and share as much info as possible, because it's like I said, other people donate, so I feel like we need to always share, but it's definitely slower than I thought, and that's, again, my fault. Sarah Jones, please can I ask what happened to Jada? I think I missed it. Okay, Jada, my fault. We were making, myself and Soup, got her some fried chicken. We were making her a little picnic because she had just finished all her recovery and she was, doing very well, and she loves fried chicken. And we brought her out onto a picnic mat, and we were giving her a fried chicken, and she was loving it. She was absolutely loving it, eating it from her hand, and like just, and then like I gave her a big piece, and I just set down the leash, because she literally, most of the time I would hardly be holding the leash because she's so like beside us, and she just bolted. Either, like, sometimes the dogs will wait for an opportunity and seize it, and they might wait for like a month. They'll be like, I've seen it so many times, they'll be eyeing a gap in a door, they'll be eyeing a gap inside the vets, in like we've got double doors, all sorts of stuff, and the second she saw the gap, whew, gone. I spoke earlier about we're looking for her all the time. Macy Grace, just seen Mr. Fluofer has had his operation, so very pleased he's on the mend. Thank you, Niall, and all that happy Doggo. Mr. Fluofer, I posted his photos. He actually had 2 big growths in there. It wasn't just one. It's huge, actually, compared to what I thought it was. I love Mr. Fluofer because he's one of the first dogs ever. He is furious at being at the land today. He's barking, howling. He hates it. I remember Angelina, if people followed me a while ago, Angelina came to the land when she was younger and had injuries. She hated it as well. She tried to chew her way through a fence. These dogs have lived their whole lives outside on freedom, jungle, food delivered every day, friends, and then you suddenly try and put them in a confined area with a cone on or whatever. He hates it. So he's going to go back to his place on the streets in probably 2 days. There's always a trade-off because he's obviously just had a surgery and an injury, and we have to treat it and make him better. But at the same time, he's so miserable that he's getting like wound up and stressed that we'll probably put him back a bit earlier, because we can go to, I know where he's at, he's safe, and I can go and visit him 4 times a day. just check in on him. So Mr. Fluofer will be there for another day or two. Do you still work? Let's scroll past. Sorry. Migos. Do you still work on old cases? Sorry, I should speak up. Do you still work on old cases like where Bianca was found, or the siblings of Sibil's new dogs? Yeah, so people will have to follow. I mean, YouTube. Those are YouTube videos. So, yeah, we do work on old cases. So, I can talk about it here. Nobody will see it. That, like, I can definitely be more honest. The dog that Sibil has, we saved Momo and Coco was what we called them, and it was a big dispute with the owners. That's why the owners are a big problem. I can say it here because like they're not going to be watching a Facebook or a YouTube live in English. They were terrible owners, and they let us fix the dogs. We put them back. They said they'd give them medicine. They didn't give them medicine. It got so bad that what's he called? Momo is his name, but when he went to Sibil, Sibil's called him. Somebody will know. I've just got so many names in my head. Little white dog, Fluffy, Mr. Stringer. Somebody always saves me on the names. Mr. Stringer's with Sibil, and he's fantastic. You've probably been following him. I think he'll walk again, and he's very close. But that was from them not giving the medicines. He had heartworm and tick disease, and they didn't give the medicines, and he got disabled. Disaster, horrible. We had to negotiate that. We had to threaten, police, legal stuff. And we got the dog out of there. They refused to give us the other dog, Coco, which is heartbreaking. And they said, I mean, I can tell you here a couple of things they said. She said she doesn't mind, she wouldn't mind if the dog died there as long as she could hear it barking. She liked the sound of it barking. Ridiculous. And something else that she said was, what was the other thing she said? Anyway, they wouldn't give us the dog. We've no legal right to take it. It's on their property. It's not technically animal cruelty because they're saying that they feed them. It's the one that we made a big play area for and everything. She just refuses to give us the other dog. So that's a really hard case. We got one dog out of there disabled now because of them. Sibil's, like, that is, if you think our part was big, we just got the dog out of there. Like, it took us 2 or 3 weeks negotiating and all that sort of stuff. But Sibil is looking after a disabled dog for life. Although I'll obviously help her find it a home if Mr. Stringer can walk again. So often there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that I can't talk about, and that is very sensitive. And we've got the great Thai team now with Ja and Earth were down there, and then we've another guy, Chris, who's a bit bigger and he used to be legal, work in the legal space. And sometimes you have to use, sometimes Ja does the community because she's a girl and she's very nice and she can smile and talk, and then sometimes Chris is a bit bigger and scarier looking, and we tried both and we could only get one dog. So yes, that kills me not knowing that. George Mattock, just on the last couple of pages of your book, Niall, excellent read. Thanks to my mum, I found out about you and amazing work you guys do. Thank you. Oh, okay, it wasn't really a question, it was just a comment. Thank you. The kids book is out now for Christmas. Tina's kids book. I should put a link to that. Can I put links in? I just decided. They asked me would I do the kids book, and I was like, oh my god, I can't do anything. I've got too much on, but I'll just put a link to the kids book if they let me do that. Do they? That's the kids book that I just posted. That is coming out for Christmas for Tina. It's all the money's going to the hospital. What am I talking about? Can't remember. Yes, there should be. I will get better at these lives. There should be. I think there's a dashboard where you can answer questions for people who are members, because I see people have badges and I think I've just pushed this public to everybody. So the girls, Claire, who helps me, and Lexi are going to be like, "Why this is meant to be for members only, Niall?" What? So sorry, I've messed everything up. And the lighting is crap, and you're just stuck with me and no dogs. But anyway, what can I do? It is what it is. I always wonder about the wee old man that helped McMuffin. Have you ever met him again and let him know how McMuffin is doing? So that's from Wilson 1981 UK, and you've got a little happy doggo badge, so that means you remember. Thank you. I did go back and tell him and showed him videos about 6 months after. I showed him that she'd got a home, and then he sort of vanished. He was a little bit mentally ill, and other people told me that he was a drug addict, that he sort of fell off the wagon sometimes, but with mental illness. So I saw him one time about 6 months after, and he looked terrible, like dishevelled and everything. Tried to talk to him, and I was just nothing could get across. So I haven't seen him since then. So no, but he saved McMuffin's life. Yeah, absolutely. McMuffin wouldn't be. There's always people are always very quick to thank me and be like, "Oh, I mean, amazing, you saved that dog." Like I just come in and make a video or drive the dog to the vets or whatever it is. In those cases, maybe more with McMuffin because it was just me in the old days. But there's always somebody like McMuffin's little man or a local person or our amazing team at Happy Doggo who do the most of the work. So I get too much credit. We're loving this. We're seeing the chaos you deal with. Bless you, Niall. Yeah, Jane Woodring, also a member. Thank you. I think I can be a bit more honest here and just, it's a better platform, isn't it, for chatting? Normally I can just do like, even those, I do like the live Q&As I do those with my dinner usually on Instagram. But this is good. I can just talk and like I said, I will get better at them. Tell me what people would like. You can always tell me, like, maybe I think dogs. I think it would be so good to walk around the land doing this in real time, and you could ask a question, and I could show you the dog in real time, or inside the hospital, or people. But the time difference is a disaster. It's pitch dark. So yeah, that's a really good question, amigos míos. Did I answer one of your questions already? Maybe. So sorry if I did, and I'm ignoring others. I'm just answering them as they come in. How come so many people at Happy Doggo are so good at English? Are Thai people normally that good? How do they learn English? That's a really good question. I'm going to tell them that tomorrow. They're really good at English. We need it as part of our, not all the roles, like Tu and Chu are the maintenance and cleaning. They don't need English. They don't have English. You get paid a little bit more in Thailand if you've got good English, so a lot of them will go to prioritize learning English because there's a lot of tourism, hotels, jobs that need English. So but yeah, I'm nearly the only English person there now. There's Zoe who does adoptions and a couple of people online, obviously, that we work online, but most people are Thai. My Thai is still rubbish because I just don't have time to do it. To learn it. This is incredible, Niall, as I wasn't able to get to Dublin to see you. Yeah, those tours, that tour really did nearly kill me. Quitting corporate. I'll donate 5 memberships if we can get likes up to 200. What are likes? I don't even know what likes are on at the moment. I think people need to like it, do they? Quitting corporate is playing a blinder here. I don't know how you're donating memberships or getting likes up to 200, but you must know how the lives work. I think people just, I see the hearts. People need to click the hearts. That's fantastic. I don't know what that means. You're damn right. Loads of Thai people at Happy Doggo, but no dogs. No Thai dogs? Don't understand. Sorry. Any news on little Billy Niall? Danny from Twickenham, UK. His PTSD broke my heart. Twickenham, UK is where the rugby is played. That's all I know about that, Danny. Billy is doing unbelievable. I saw him in maybe February. I had to go over there for a visa thing. And main reason, I could have gone anywhere outside of Thailand, but I chose Singapore because I wanted to see Billy. And his mom and dad, Bronwyn, Bruce, unbelievable people. Billy was not an easy dog to look after in the early days, and I had a good chat with her about that. The quarantine was very, very hard for him, but they have just, he looks incredible. I always thought he was incredibly old and nearly done. What they've done with that dog is just the patience, and if you follow him on Instagram, Danny from Twickenham, you'll see he was the one dog with maybe McMuffin. Who else is like absolute death's door? Billy and McMuffin, I think I feel like I'm missing somebody else, but I'm missing a lot more. But Billy and McMuffin were the worst of, McMuffin's illness. Billy's, like, that month, if it wasn't for my friend Niall being here and a few other people sitting with him, he I don't know how he got through that first month. His PTSD was horrendous. Hello from Harare, Margot Lloyd. I have been in Harare, would you believe it? Twice, I think. My uncle used to live there, so I went there when I was younger. So I know Harare well, in Zimbabwe. Capital of Zimbabwe. I'm in the dentist waiting room, about to be called in. Can we watch this video later too? Yes, I think these videos are stay up online. And as I keep saying, I mean, it would be great probably if I filmed in landscape, would probably be better. I could probably stream on multiple platforms, although, yeah, I don't know. There's much more we can do with streaming. But we can blame Earth. Earth is probably watching this somewhere. He'll watch this back, or he'll see it. So, or he might not, but we can tell Earth is in charge of video in Thailand. So any problems, tell Earth. No, we'll make it better, me and Earth. We'll get like better lights. We'll maybe do it in the office. We'll get a background. We'll get some photos of dogs. We'll get dogs in it. We'll definitely make it better. Chantel, Alba brought me here. I have seen your first reel about her and I was instantly in love. I was devastated when she died. We all were. But I'm glad I'm able to follow your work now. I hope you're doing well. That's lovely, Chantel. It's funny how there's always a few big dogs that people brought people here. I hear it all the time, like Rodney in the early days, McMuffin, Whacker, Derek, did I say Derek? I can't remember. Alba, Cindy, Shaq, big characters. But it's not just those big ones. It could be like some really smaller dog that only was there for a day. Like the amount of people that will ask me about, trying to think of a random dog from a year ago. Certain dogs, people just gravitate towards certain dogs and they're always, my problem is my messages. You might not think I'm getting back to your messages, but I go into my messages and it will be, I can't show you on my phone. I have maybe 1,000 messages every day on Instagram, and it's always like, how is Shaq? How is Derek? How is Rodney? How is, I can't remember who we've got there at the moment, but like it's literally 500 messages asking me about everybody's favourite dog, so I just can never get through them all, but I try and share as many as I can. Any news on Twix, for example? That's one that people ask me often. No, I went looking for him on Sunday. I had a couple of hours driving on the moped and had no luck. It's really, really, really annoying. People are gifting each other memberships. I just don't know what this is, but it feels like a good thing. Neva Stephen received a gift membership from All About the Music. Isn't that fantastic? Memberships, by the way, are just a thing we introduced so as we can... YouTube is a lot of work, and we just wanted to make sure that the people on YouTube were contributing towards dogs and seeing like little stories. So you'll see we've got an update on Pirate, who you'll remember went up to Bangkok with Jam. He's back. I don't want to ruin the video, but he's alive and well, and he's back at the land, and his operation, I won't tell you the whole story because it's in the YouTube that we just filmed today, and it's coming out on Saturday, but he's alive and well, and that was thanks to YouTube. Unbelievably expensive, unbelievably complicated, but I think it's great to have a community on YouTube where people can help out. What happened to Sibil? What dogs does your lover Earth does at Happy Doggo? He takes up 90% of the videos that's supposed to be about dogs. I mean, I don't know what to answer to that question. What happened to Sibil? Sibil is doing amazingly. She's in Bangkok for a couple of days, and I talk to her every day, and she's doing fantastically with her dogs. She has about 3 or 4 that we rescued together. Sibil is fantastic, and she is doing unbelievable work. So I don't know if you were giving out about Earth. Sounds like you were having a go at him, but maybe not. Maybe I read that wrong. Anyway, I'll jump on to somebody else. Hi, Niall from Dundalk. Dundalk! Love your work from... Follow everything from here. Dundalk is one of those accents that everybody in Ireland takes the piss out of, but nobody else would get that. So I love the Dundalk accent. Who's Anne Peach? Doesn't seem like she belongs here. I don't know. Maybe that person who's given out about Earth, is it? It's YouTube. You'll always get somebody. How are you doing, Melissa Jimenez? I am. Do you know what? I'm exhausted. I feel terrible. And there's no point lying. I can bluff it, but I've just had so much. I had to big sleep last weekend, proper day off, like sleep in a hotel. I checked myself in for one night and slept for like 12 hours. But the Angelina, I'm still recovering from that book tour and that trip around the world, and we lost quite a lot of dogs in one batch. Kerry bit me. I've still got, it still shows up tiny bit, which is weird. It's like, what's that called, like scar tissue or something. It's just there. Kerry bit me, book tour. I got the can't really say about that health scare. I mean, I could, but yeah, I mean, I don't have to share everything. But yeah, I got the bladder infection and what's the other one, kidney, bladder and kidney infection from the tour, and then they thought it was something even more serious, and that turned out to be okay, just about. And then Kerry bit me, lost Angelina, lost Kerry, lost Big T, lost about 4 or 5 dogs. Lady, not our dog, Jamie's obviously. Just a lot of stuff, you know, was going on, and then had to integrate Chance here, and then there's just I'm burnt out always. So there's a scale of 10 maximum burnout. I'm at about an 8 at the moment, which is unfortunate, but what can you do? You need to be live streaming for, I need to be like one of those, sorry, I need to read out the names, I'm not good at this. Doggy3132, you need to be live streaming from a large comfy armchair. Yeah, I need to be like one of those gamers. Next time I come on, I'm going to have like the professional $2,000 streaming chair, 4 buttons up here, 4 monitors, like a professional camera, lighting. At the moment, it's literally me and my cracked iPhone. My iPhone is in bits. I'm trying to talk myself out of buying a new iPhone next week, because I don't really need it, but it's so broken that, and I always think like I make all the content on the iPhone. I should have the new one. That's my justification to myself. But don't give Anne Preach the time of day, y'all. She spews bullshit on every post, not worth any of our time to deal with. Good on you, Sadie. If people are negative, you don't have to listen to them. That's true. Don't give them the time of day. I think that's an Irish saying. I would guess that Sadie is probably Irish. Although that saying is probably in the rest of the world. Does the woman with Stitch still make the food for street dogs? That's a really good question. So Stitch is still there. I give her a little bit of money for Stitch and a couple of things to look after. She looks after actually she has 19 dogs actually, PFA, and she, where she lives, so she started helping us. It was like after COVID. She has a little sort of rental apartment area, a few little properties, and they were all deserted during COVID, and then the island came back after COVID, and it's booming, and she has a little place that she rents out, and so it started to fill back up. So she doesn't make the food anymore. We paid her a small amount to do that when we were, I probably did it for 2 years, but then when we built Alba's kitchen, we hired the team on the land, and she was happy to, so still in touch with her. She still looks after Stitch and 20 dogs, and she feeds dogs for them, and then we give them all their vaccines and medicines and everything. So good relationship, but she doesn't cook for us anymore. Bama Dog Mom, going through a horrific divorce. You and the dogs have given me so much joy and kept me from turning into a cold-hearted woman. Thank you for everything. Yeah, divorce, yeah. I mean, I've never gone through that, but I do see people my age, friends and stuff. It's tough, isn't it? If you saw my messages, I read as many as possible. They're from cancer survivors, domestic abuse, divorce, drug addiction, alcohol addiction, depression, anxiety, everything. And I think the dogs are just a little bright spark in people's days, and that's why I try and make them as upbeat as possible. It's not always the stuff that we face, like today, the dog with its eye hanging out. I didn't share too much of that because, I mean, does anybody want to see that? You know, like I obviously follow all the other charities and we work with them all. I personally, I don't know about you guys. Well, I do know about you guys because I see when I post stuff. If you post graphic, sad stuff, it really turns people off, and it turns me off. If I sit down in my day after work and I'm just like, I want to look at my phone and look at a bit of football or a bit of music or whatever it is, whatever your escape, celebrity, I don't know, whatever you look at your phone, you don't want to see the negative stuff, do you? As much as we want to support it and help as individuals, charities. I just, that's why I try and make our stuff happy, because I think there's enough sad stuff in the world. At the start of the stream, I was just saying, I was waiting for the stream to start on. I logged into a couple of newspapers and Twitter, which was a mistake. And I was like, wow, the world, like wars, shootings, America, everything. And I was like, all we can do is put a little bit of positivity out there up the dogs. And it won't always be positive. I can't always make it positive, but I try to just put stuff out there that's positive. To help people. I started about your divorce. I hope your divorce, can you hope a divorce ends well? I hope you get the settlement you want, or the separation you want, or the closure you want. I don't know what you want when you're in a divorce, but don't become a cold-hearted woman. At least you're aware that you're becoming maybe a cold-hearted woman and you're determined not to. So well done, keep it up. What other animals have you rescued aside from dogs and cats? Have I rescued any other animals? A goose? Gary the goose? Somebody will remember it. Oh, I've let this question scroll up. Somebody will remember Gary the goose. One day I arrived in, it was me or somebody else arrived in. I arrived just after them. And Gary the goose was there. Just this goose at Happy Doggo Land. I don't know where he'd come from. I don't know how he got there, if he'd been dumped, if he'd flown there, whatever. But the goose arrived. The dogs hated the goose. So we put the goose in a kennel. If you scroll back far enough, somebody can maybe link it in the comments, find it. A goose came to Happy Doggo Land and we found him a home. We rehomed him in an organic farm in the Conrad Hotel. So Gary the goose is somebody we rescued. And I think he is now in the 5-star Conrad Hotel in an organic farm. Or he could also be on a platter as goose with Christmas sauce, Christmas goose. How's Bubbles doing? Bubbles is doing great. She's with Bob. Do you know what? I've been thinking recently, am I A, getting old, B, is it early stage Alzheimer's, burnout, or what? My memory's gone with names. I'm struggling with I have so many dogs names at the land, Thai staff names, people online who message me, I'll know a good few people in these comments and people who message me, real world people, I must have 500 names and I can't even remember the simple ones now. I'm like, you just asked me how's Bella doing and I'm like, who is Bella? I'm sure we have a Bella, but obviously Bella's the huge dog. How is Rodney? Rodney, fantastic news. We have an internal tool that we share called Slack where I see photos. I saw Rodney running around in his new home. We don't want to share it yet. And actually his new people are not big social media people at all. They said they're not going to be on social media. That's just not what they do, and I totally respect that. But he is super, super, super happy, and we will share a couple of photos and videos in a couple of weeks. Thing is with social media, when we share a dog, you might get 10,000 followers or 20, or if a super popular dog 30,000. That's a lot of pressure, and you've everybody sending updates oh, how's the dog getting on? Some people will love that. Other people, it's a different level of pressure. You're trying to integrate a street dog into your house, and you've got all these people online wondering how it goes. So we always say to people, you don't have to share it on social media. So yes. Okay, what time is it? 7:45. I have to finish this in about 5-10 minutes because the restaurants will close and I won't have anywhere to get my dinner. Although I think I'm getting the cornflakes. How is Tank and his recovery? Tank, a good question actually. Tank and his recovery, Sam Holland. So Tank is the dog who had the big growth on his ass, and we got bad news today. This is what I mean. There's always stuff that I have going on in the background. He went back for a regular checkup. Don't fully understand as always, but there's 2 layers of stitches. Second one, they did the operation on the anus, all these and it hasn't quite worked. It's worked quite well, but they need to do a follow-up operation. So he has to stay with us for 10 days. We kind of expected a follow-up operation because it was so complicated, but he has to wait another 10 days and then get another operation. So he's not in as much discomfort now, and it'll be a bit easier to wait, and he's not going to die like we thought on the first operation. So it's good news. Bad news, but good news. He's not fixed. He's somewhat fixed. But he's calmed down. When we sent him in for the last operation, he was at breaking point. He was so anxious and nervous and in pain. Yeah. Okay, when is your birthday? My birthday's in 2 weeks. I don't like birthdays. Can't believe treatment was even possible for Tank. Yeah, the vets are just unbelievable. That's why today the guys were like worried to tell me and stuff. They were like, "Oh no, expense. It's gonna be more expense for Tank." But I was expecting it. Like if the size of that lump on his ass, and it was like right, and he was like pooping out the side, and like so. That he's alive is a great start, and that it's going to take an operation, so be it. Where can we find the IRS information for Happy Doggo to make sure our payroll deduction is going to Happy Doggo and not an imposter? That's a really good question, and maybe Claire is watching this. Hopefully she could put it in, but let me just see. I think that's one thing I can tell all you guys about here actually. I'm going to say this is it. Sorry, I don't want to spend loads of time on this. I'm just going to put a link in there. You can find that's the official donate link, and all the official taxes and charities and stuff is there. But I think Claire or somebody from the team watching this will probably give you the real link. The another link if that's not right, because I'm busy answering questions here and might have sent the wrong one. I can't explain to you how many scams I get sent to me. So I just want to tell people to be really careful out there. I will have at least 20 or 30 profiles pretending to be me. I have seen the most unbelievable scams. There are people who've been scammed. So people will set up profiles with my image and steal all my content from other channels, put it up and say it's their own. And then they'll send messages to, like, this is what they'll do. They'll send a message. First of all, they block me so as I don't see them. But what they'll do is they'll message people like you guys in the chat or on Instagram, and they'll say, "Oh hi, this is Niall. I'm too shy to ask for money publicly, but we're really struggling at the moment. Can you send me some money direct?" And then they'll send you a fake link. So yeah, that's just one example. That's a question I'm going to answer in a second. I'll answer really questions because I just see Cookstown. That's where I'm from. Fellow Cookstown native here. Do you ever see Joy? Yeah, Joy is around the corner at a German guy's house that we know. So she's all good. Another common question. Just wanted to answer the Cookstown question. Be quite careful of scams. They're online everywhere. Just go to happydoggo.com and click on the links there, or my profile on Instagram is very easy to find. If a smaller account is out there, if somebody message you, they'll try everything. They'll be like, "Oh, we're from Niall's team. He wants to set up a small group of people where he can only talk to 20 people. Do you want to join? It costs money." All scams. Everything. Like, I never ever, I think we asked for donations once this summer. You'll never see me asking for donations. So if somebody's asking you for money saying they're me, it's not. It's more than likely, it's 99% a scam. So just be very careful. Michelle James, thank you for my gifted membership. Isn't it amazing that people are gifting each other memberships? It's another great thing I need to share. Somebody was gifting books to libraries yesterday and writing little messages inside them and stuff. Let's get to 300 likes. I don't know where the likes are. I'd like it myself. But yes. Okay, let me answer about 3 more questions. I just need to find some good questions. Has Lucky ever shown up again? No, unfortunately, is the answer there. Once she showed up, but I'm sure you saw that. Lovely Bella is definitely a hot dog from above. Once you can't unsee it. It's true. About 9 people sent me that same message, and once they did, I looked at her. She looks like a hot dog. If you look at her from above, she really does look like a hot dog. I just look at my belly there. It's unbelievable. You have to. I need to eat healthy. Don't like looking at myself or listening to my own voice. Happy Doggo, I'd say that's clear. All payroll info is here on our website. That is correct. So that's an official account replying there, but do be careful of scams. That's a good question. A lady further up the chat, Stonewall18, sorry for missing the original question, they go past so fast. Why so many dogs have growths? I'd be interested in the answer to this too. Never seen it anywhere else. So a lot of the dogs have growths. Mr. Fluofer today, Shaq, Kerry, Jada, Tank. That's not a growth. That's more like his prolapsed stuff down at the bottom, whatever that's called, hernia and prostate and all that. But they do all have growths, and I wonder, is it something to do with their diet? But I also wonder, I think my personal opinion is, there's like thousands of dogs. They don't have owners. They don't have vet care. So when you see a little growth on your dog at home, you take it to the vet and you get it cut out when it's very, very small. You'll feel it, you know, anybody will have had a dog, they might have seen a growth and you get it cut out or checked if it's fat. I remember doing that with Snoop. I found a tiny growth when he was smaller and I was like, oh, this, I took him straight to the vet. So nobody's taking them to the vets. And I think it's just the sheer number of dogs. And then we get called for all sorts of dogs. And then always when you see one with a growth on it, a big, like we go and rescue it straight away because it looks so serious. So I think it might be not anything to do with Thai street dogs. I think it might just be dogs in general. There's so many and they don't have vet care. Niall, are you still feeding hundreds of dogs every day? Yes, we feed 1,200 dogs every day from Alba's Kitchen, but we make the food there, which costs a lot of money, and the team make all the food every day. 1,200 dogs. I think it's 250 kilograms, so a quarter of a ton of food is made every day. Costs about, I think, $12,000 a month. I haven't seen it recently, the bill, but it was around that. I mean, it shouldn't have changed, so definitely around that. And then we give it to other shelters, other volunteers, Thais, foreigners, Sibil. I'm just saying that because you would know, or people around the island who need dog food. We give it to them, so then they have an extra cost. So they it doesn't. They can spend any other money they have on different stuff like medicines and stuff like that. So yes, we're cooking, and I think it's great. But I have recently realised we're doing a lot more medical stuff, which is obvious because we've got the clinic now and the hospital coming, and it's where we're going to end up being. It's like we're the only ones who can do those medical things in terms of costs. Not the only ones, other people do it, but they're big. Like all those operations are big and expensive, and you know, small locals who look after dogs, like Thais for example, don't have the money. If the, you know, couple of little Thai women look after dogs, they could never do an operation for $1,000. So I think we can add it. You know, feeding is one thing, but we really do a lot more on the medical side of things now. Quitting corporate, I just want to say, whatever you're doing in the chat and likes and asking for likes and gifting memberships, you're the superstar of the day. I think you should get a round of applause. Sibil has such a calming manner. She's great with injured dogs. She's unbelievable. She's like, I could not do what she does. Those disabled dogs are 10 times more work, each of them, than a normal dog. She has to wash them. They pee all over themselves. They can't do anything themselves. They can play, but she has to strap them into wheelchairs, take them to the beach. I think she washes some of them 2-3 times a day. She wakes up, there'll be pee on the floor in, you know, certain houses where she has them in rooms and stuff. Like, she just has the patience of literally a saint. Literally. So she's the most. I must message her after this. Me and her usually go and have a sandwich and bitch about dog problems. She's amazing. That's the same question. How often do you get to socialise with Sibil, with how busy you both are? Not that much. I mean, it's actually mostly, sometimes twice a week, or she'll be down checking on. It was, see, like when we were smaller, Sibil was nearly our only medical point of, like, I didn't know what I was doing, so she was there a lot more. But she's got a lot more dogs now. Her job situation has changed. That's her own stuff. I'm not going to go into that. And she helps so many disabled dogs. So yeah, I'd meet her twice a week. We're still very good friends and check everything with each other. Okay, 2 more questions and then I will go. Let me scroll back up because which Oasis gig will you be going to, and will you go on stage with buttons? I had invites to go to the Oasis gigs, and yeah, I could have picked whatever one I wanted back home, but I was very close to, at one stage it was like when I was just so tired and everything. I was like, I saw the photos and the videos and everything of Oasis, and I was like, I'll just go home and see some friends for a couple of days and go to an Oasis concert. But I couldn't justify it because the dogs needed me, and there was just so much going on here. And it was a bit closer, I might have gone. There's some later in the year that are in Australia, this part of the world, that I might try and get to one, but people are always like, what do you do for a social? I don't have a social life. Like, literally, there's none. When will you go on vacation or kind holiday to take care of yourself? Last year I went to the Grand Prix in November. I want to do something like that again this end of the year. I have some big things at the moment. They're so unbelievably big things. I can tell you them here because, again, it's 50 minutes into a live stream. I don't think there's many people watching. We've got a couple of vets starting 1st of October, 1st of November. We've got the hospital, like I was explaining earlier, the planning permissions about to get submitted and go through. We've got some big hires that we're working on at the moment to relieve pressure. We've got there's so many other big things, but what are the other big things? About 5-10 different big things, like the kids book. I've always got 20 big things on the go. But once I get through this batch of big things, I'm going to try and do 2 or 3 days off somewhere. Will I get Hank? I see people asking about Hank. I'm going to get him now. He's really hard to lift up and put on the camera, but let me get him to finish off the stream. Admin query, can I switch my direct to a membership? Just ask Claire. A donation is always better. Like, a membership is great, but donation is the best, just so as people know. We hope Earth can go to Scotland to visit Panda one day. A funny story, I was in the car with Earth yesterday and we were doing a rescue, and he was like, well, what is GoFundMe? And I was like, it's like a charity website. I thought he was asking me for a charity, he'd seen it. And he was like, yeah, because somebody wants to send me to see Panda. They want to set up a GoFundMe. And I was like, oh, fantastic. I think it would be great if Earth went to see Panda. Like, we're talking about it. Let's let him settle in. Panda first. We'll get Earth, or but I think that would be cool, wouldn't it? And Liverpool, yeah. If he was going all the way to Liverpool, that's one other thing I can tell you. That's it. I've decided to do a marathon. I'm going to run a marathon for Tina, Bangkok Marathon, 15th of November. So that's 2 months away. I have to train for that somehow. And I'm going to try and raise the last bit of the money for Tina's hospital in the Bangkok Marathon. That popped into my head because Niall is going to do it with me, who's the guy who sometimes comes over about once a year, and he's a Liverpool fan, and he said he would get tickets for Earth to go to Anfield. So that's how I made that connection. One more good question. Whereabouts is Scotland is Panda going to live? I live just outside Glasgow. I believe he's going just outside Glasgow, or it might be Ayrshire. Scotland's a big place. I should know these things. Too much information in my head. How's Tina's hospital going? I answered that earlier, so if you scroll back, there's a good explanation. Is Pedro ever getting rehomed? Pedro is going on the website today for adoption. Maybe that's the best way to finish it, isn't it? Pedro's going to be up for adoption. You're a rock star, quitting corporate. She is. I'm going to go on and see. I don't know quitting corporate, but from the name, it's hopefully just the YouTube name. Thank you for those yellow things, which are donations. Thank you for being a member. Thank you for the chats, the questions, everything. It's 8 p.m. I should go and have steamed fish and broccoli and potatoes and lots of vegetables, but I'm going to go and have a bowl of cornflakes and a Ritter chocolate bar, maybe a can of Coke. That is a ridiculously unhealthy dinner, but it's 8 o'clock and I haven't had a chance yet, so what can you do? Thanks for watching, everybody. Next time we'll be more professional, and I've probably messed up the memberships and everything, so apologies for that. Thank you for the support. I can never thank you enough. The only time I got to thank people was when I was on personal on that book tour. So if anybody supports or donates or likes a video or shares something or writes a comment, I and the team can never thank you enough, because we couldn't do what we do if it wasn't for you guys supporting us online. And I'm the luckiest person in the world to be able to do this. So even though I'm tired, I get to go to sleep feeling like I've done unbelievable work for dogs, and that's because of you guys that help us to do that. So thank you. Have a lovely evening. How do I turn this off?